Imagine walking into a courtroom where the odds are stacked against the weak. The millionaire has the best lawyers, the most influence, and the arrogance of someone who thinks money buys justice. But what happens when the quiet maid, the one nobody notices, suddenly stands up and changes everything? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. The courtroom was packed that morning, the air tense with expectation. On one side sat Mr. Hargrove, a millionaire property developer, known for his ruthless business tactics. His expensive suit gleamed under the lights, and his smirk carried the confidence of someone who believed he had already won. Across from him sat Rosa Alvarez, the maid who had worked in his mansion for years. A woman of humble background, her hands roughened from scrubbing floors, her back bent from carrying loads far too heavy for her small frame. Rosa wasn't there by choice, she was there because Hargrove had accused her of theft. Jewelry worth thousands of dollars had gone missing, and he had pointed the finger at the easiest target, the poor maid. The prosecutor painted Rosa as a desperate woman. She needed money. She had access. She was the only one in the house who could have done it. Every word made her shrink further into her seat. Her lawyer, a young man named Daniel, did his best to fight back. He tried to argue there was no hard evidence, but the judge seemed weary, swayed by Hargrove's expensive team and endless paperwork. Every objection Daniel raised was shut down. Every attempt to defend Rosa seemed weaker against the mountain of power and wealth facing them. Halfway through the trial, Daniel leaned over to Rosa, his voice low with defeat. "I don't think I can win this, Rosa. I'm sorry." He closed his file, stood up, and walked out of the courtroom. The gasp that echoed through the chamber was deafening. Rosa's world felt like it had collapsed. Alone, with no lawyer, and the smug grin of Mr. Hargrove burning into her soul, she felt her hope draining. Tears welled in her eyes as the judge prepared to call the case to an end. But then, something stirred inside her. Rosa slowly rose to her feet, trembling but determined. "Your Honor," she said softly, her accent thick but her words sharp. The courtroom turned silent. "I may not have a lawyer anymore, and I may not have money. But I do have the truth. And I will not sit quietly while I am blamed for something I did not do." The judge raised an eyebrow, surprised. "Proceed." Rosa turned to the millionaire. "Mr. Hargrove claims I stole his wife's diamond bracelet. But I know something he doesn't realize." She paused, her eyes locking with his. "That bracelet was never stolen. It was hidden." A murmur rippled through the room. Rosa continued, her voice gaining strength. "I was cleaning the East Wing 2 weeks ago. I saw Mr. Hargrove himself, late at night, opening his wife's jewelry box and taking out that bracelet. I didn't understand why at first. But now I do. He accused me because he wanted a scapegoat." The millionaire shot up from his seat. "Lies. She's making this up." But Rosa didn't waver. She reached into her small handbag and pulled out something that made everyone freeze, the bracelet itself. "You dropped this in the laundry chute, sir." "I found it, but I was too afraid to speak then. I thought nobody would believe me, a maid against a millionaire." The courtroom erupted in chaos. The judge slammed his gavel. "Order." The prosecutor stammered, trying to recover. Hargrove's face turned pale as his own lies unraveled. Rosa, standing tall now, added, "Your Honor, money may buy lawyers, but it cannot buy the truth. I am innocent." The judge leaned back, stunned. "Case dismissed. Mr. Hargrove, you are now under investigation for perjury and obstruction of justice." The millionaire slumped in his chair, his arrogance gone, while the gallery burst into applause. Rosa, tears streaming down her cheeks, felt years of silence and humility finally rewarded with dignity. Sometimes, the world underestimates the quiet ones, the ones who clean up the messes of the powerful. But when the moment comes, truth doesn't need a lawyer, it only needs courage. Remember this, never mistake humility for weakness. Because even the overlooked can change the world with one brave choice.